Hello and welcome to another Cactus Hill adventure. Today we're going to be at the Hovenweep National Monument, and specifically the Cah-hone unit. There's also in this Hovenweep area is the Square Tower, which is where the visitor center is, the Holly unit, Horseshoe and Hackenberry, and Cutthroat Castle. And when we visited in May of 2023, the Cutthroat Castle was closed. So just be aware of that. Check before you go. I'm sure they'll tell you if you go to the visitor center and check in there whether it's open or not. Here we're going down Old Aneth Road to access the Cah-hone unit. As you can see, there's a rainstorm right in front of us and it is heading our way. Since we're on top of a mesa, we weren't too concerned about any flash flooding or anything, so we're continuing on. I'm showing this section because the signage to get to the cutoff to go to the unit is basically minimal, and we're coming up on it now on the right and you'll see what I mean. Yeah, there it is. It's basically a raven. That's the signage. That's all you're going to see. Here we're going to turn right onto the road that goes out to the Cah-hone unit. It's not very far back there. The road's pretty good. It's a little soft to start here and gets a little rocky as you get closer. It's slick rock, nothing crazy. There's a little split in the road here. You're going to want to stay to the left. You can go to the right because it comes around and ties back into this road, but basically you want to stay to the left here. Here's the signage you're going to see. Again, there's the raven. As you can see, the road's pretty good. Nothing too difficult or technical. We had a Toyota RAV4 pull up behind us while we were at that sign, and we got out and talked to a couple of ladies that wanted to visit the site and said, yeah, this is the right road. So they followed us in. So Toyota RAV4 made it okay, and I would think that would be the minimum. You could probably get up this road in a two-wheel drive, little high clearance vehicle. But if you have an SUV, all-wheel drive, that would probably be the minimum, I would think. Here we're coming up on that rocky section I told you about earlier. This is probably the most challenging part, but just watch your tire placement and you'll be fine. If you do come here and you have like a regular sedan type vehicle, you could probably park out on the road there and just hike back. It's like I said, it's probably less than a mile and to get to the site, so that might be an option as well. Here we're pulling up to the entrance. You'll see it on the right. I don't know if they call it an S gate or a Z gate, kind of keep the animals out of there. And I want to apologize at this point for the wind noise you're going to hear at some of the GoPro footage that I took. Hello, this is Cactus Hill. We're in the El Cajon section of Hovenweep National Monument. Relatively easy to get to. I guess it's just Cah-hone. I'm used to El Cajon Pass, I believe, in California. Here's the information sign. And there is the map of basically Hovenweep. The green squares here are the Hovenweep areas. That's the Holly area that we've been to, that I have some photographs of that and some GoPro. We didn't go to the Horseshoe or Hackenberry, and Cutthroat Castle is closed right now. And it says here, high clearance vehicle required beyond this point. And I could say the same thing on this road right here. This is definitely four-wheel drive on this side of it, definitely. Now there's hiking trails you can go from the Square Tower, and go out to Holly. That's about 4 miles, as I recall. So definitely four-wheel drive past the turn there. Prior to that, you might get by with a two-wheel or just a high clearance vehicle, but after this, definitely four-wheel drive in this section. Anyway, I'm going to go over to the Cah-hone site, and it's pretty impressive from the view, and we'll see how close we can get to some of the actual ruins. Okay, very cool. I think we can go right up to the site. Just think if you were a Native American coming up that canyon for the first time and you ran into this site and decided this was a great place to live for a while. That's what I like to do when I'm in these areas, these ruins, is to imagine what these people went through and what they lived like and the everyday difficulties of life. And if you haven't noticed them yet or so far, there are some concrete stanchions with some metal poles in them and some wire rope on them. That's kind of as far as you can go, as close as you can get to the ruins. In this next ruin, I did step over the cable, kind of straddled it, and reached my arm out to get a shot inside the ruin. Wow, very impressive. Great view from up here. Let's scan around a little bit. A couple ladies in a Toyota RAV4 that made it back here. So I would say that'd be the minimum to get back to this area. Relatively close to the highway, the old Aneth Highway. Okay, Cactus Hill is signing off. Gonna take some photos. Again, let your imagination wander a little bit as you look at these photos and try to imagine the Native Americans living in these structures when they were fully built and operational in their day-to-day lives. It's very impressive to me. We're going to zoom in here in a bit and show you the inside of that little opening there. In the next photo, we're going to show you a tarantula hawk. They have a nasty sting, so stay away from them. We saw several at the site. This is probably the coolest site we've been to today that we can really get close to and access. Other sites at Mesa Verde were impressive, but we couldn't get that close to them. But even Hovenweep, the main site, is pretty cool. I think this one's the best one so far. Again, here's a map of the Hovenweep National Monument. We are down on the left-hand corner at the Cah-hone unit with a square tower unit in the center. Yes, this is a very cool site. Very impressive. All right, looks like we might get a little rain here, so Cactus Hill out. And here's a map of the overall area again. It's near the Four Corners. This was a very impressive site, the Cah-hone site. And remember, as I always say, you won't know if you don't go. Thanks for watching. It's much appreciated. Hope to see you out there.